It's my pleasure to have two guests today, Luke Patterson, Reggie's one of her three sons, is with us here, and John Pepperdine, who some of you have known for his time at CU, now a consultant and very interested in joining Rotary to the point I think you already have your application ready for signature. So welcome to them both. Thank you.
I'm pleased to have as my guest today my daughter, Lindsay Kuba. And Lindsay has a connection with this club. She was sponsored by the club as an exchange student coming out of Japan to have you.
This is my father, Craig Womack, and he's visiting from San Francisco.
Welcome, Craig. Standing with me is Steve Graham. Steve is a retired executive with Qualcomm. They retired for a couple of years and looking for opportunities for service. Please welcome Steve. Peace out.
Well, I want to introduce you to Krista Marks. She used to be a member of our organization, and she is now, just today, has become a badge member. And so I wanted to let you know to come say hi to her. She's the CEO and co-founder of Whoop Math, and you'll be hearing much more about her.
My guest today is Fred Bradman, who's here for his third visit, and his proposal is in to the Wendy's. And Fred is been in Boulder for 2 years from New York City, where he was vice president of communications and investor relations for one of the firms there on Wall Street. So please welcome Fred, and you'll be hearing much more about him.
Welcome, Fred. Do we have other visitors of the club today? If not, let's think about our centennial as a club. I want you to think today about Rotaract, reminding you that we do have a CU campus-based group that represents this club in a junior fashion. They are called Rotaract, and their meetings are always announced in our rib. That's number one. Number two, think about tonight. They've got a trivia night that's going on at the University Memorial Center tonight, and it's their last fundraiser for this semester. They're actually here with representatives with John Zoliak. Over here, John, would you stand up with our students? Just so everybody sees them. You might hear from them later in the meeting. They just completed the development of greeting cards that I'll be dropping off at Fraser Meadows later today. So it's a Rotaract, and it is all about the foundations of Rotary. So welcome them. Thank you.
Thank you, Jim, and thank you to, and welcome again to all of our guests and visitors. We're gonna have a great meeting. As Jim said, this is our 100th year, and all for the last 2-3 months, we've been telling the story of our club, one chapter, one vignette at a time. So today, we get to hear about our 75th anniversary. Wow.
Today's vignette looks back at the last time our club celebrated a significant milestone, 25 years ago. In April 1994, more than 320 people attended the celebration of Boulder Rotary's 75th anniversary. It was indeed a sparkling crowd of Rotarians, spouses, and guests, which thronged into the University Memorial Center for the gala, enthused RIP editor Bob Bradfield. Our beloved Virginia Patterson was in charge of the arrangements, which included a dinner of beef tenderloin and grilled salmon, and a chocolate dessert topped with a tiny rotary envelope. Ray Hauser, our longtime director of all musical things, unveiled a new Boulder Rotary song to the tune of America the Beautiful. Unfortunately, we weren't able to find the lyrics. District Governor Lloyd Dickinson suggested in his remarks that Boulder was one of the top clubs in the district, past and present. A professionally produced video was viewed by the guests. President Lane Ernest formally accepted a copy of the recently updated club history and said, based on the explosion of Boulder Rotary activities over the past 25 years, he would have to believe that we had a good running start for the next 25. A champagne toast to Boulder Rotary in the past was offered by senior member Clyde Gilbert, and the answering toast to Boulder Rotary in its future was offered by Jerry Mock.
So in the coming month, you will hear about our 100-year celebration, which will be April 6th. So that's going to be something not to miss. We have a capacity of 270 people, so you want to get your tickets early. So we'll talk about that in January. The next up on the agenda are the bylaws. Can I get the lights up? Oh, that's what we're going to do. Yeah, I got to get the lights up because we are going to vote on the bylaws. So this is the third meeting that the bylaws have been discussed, that you have had them in your in the cyber rib, on the tables, etc. We had it open for comments to me and to the secretary. The board has unanimously voted to present these bylaws to the club for approval. Per the bylaws, after at least 10 days notice, which has happened, of 2/3 of those members present can approve the bylaws. So last time the bylaws were voted on and approved about a year and a half ago. Okay? So what I would like to do now is for those, if you are a member and you have reviewed the bylaws and you would like to vote, I'm going to call for a vote. If you approve these bylaws, raise your hand. Down. I counted them all. I'm like, all those opposed, raise your hand. Great. Let the secretary note that they have passed. So wonderful. Okay, Jancy.
Hi, this is a reminder of the exhibit Special Exhibit here at this time called The Holocaust by Bullets. It presents 10 years of investigation focusing on the history of the Holocaust, the mass shootings of the Jews and others that took place throughout Eastern Europe by the Nazis from the year 1941 to 1944. The JCCs has graciously planned a special complimentary guided tour of this important exhibit for our Boulder Rotary members a week from this Sunday, which is the 9th from 5 until 7 o'clock. The tour is guided. It is a limited tour. We can only have so many. We do have a few spaces available, so I urge you to let me know today or just as soon as possible. There is a cutoff time. This is a very important exhibit, and it's wonderful that we can be a part of it. Thanks.
Okay, Emily from our Rotaract, and Emily, you're going to come up and talk about their trivia night tonight.
Hi, I'm Allie Beerbaum, the secretary of the City of Boulder Rotaract Club, and I'm Emily Gallagher. I'm the host of it. So I'm sure you all remember it. Our trivia night is tonight, which is November 30th at 6:30 at the UNC University Memorial Center in the Aspen Room. It's going to be a lot of fun. We have a lot of prizes. And it's all gonna go to Heifer International, which is an organization that donates farm animals to families in need for resources.
Yeah, so it's a $10 admission fee, but it's a recommended $20 donation. This is all going to charity. This will get you in for trivia, but we're also going to have additional games to win additional prizes and gift cards. And so bring your wallets. It's going to be a lot of fun. We're sponsored by Loveland Ski Resorts. We've got some ski passes. We've got some like gift cards to like hop in the state. So it'll be a lot of fun. Hope to see you all there.
Well, you are a natural, you need to be in our fundraising committee. Bring your wallets. Okay. Love it. All right. Special treatments.
This fall, our Boulder Rotary Club lost 2 honorary members with the passing of Richard C. Parrish on October 8th and Virginia Patterson on October 20th. We knew them as RC and Gingy. Together, their membership in Boulder Rotary totaled 59 years. RC's induction occurred on September 1, 1989, with Gingy's on April 29, 1988. Both were multiple Paul Harris Fellows. Faye Parrish and Gingy Patterson were both Rotarians in those early years. By the time Gingy joined Boulder Rotary, she was the 4th woman to do so. Her husband, A.B. Patterson, Father Pat, was a Boulder Rotarian in that family before Gingy joined. Our honorary Rotarians moved to Boulder for different reasons. R.C. and Faye moved here from Texas with plans to begin a new career in construction. Eventually, R.C. started his own general contracting business and custom cabinet shop, the Pack Builders, which later became Parrish Construction Company. This was after his supervising of many projects ranging from commercial buildings, schools, fire stations, churches, to buildings at the new National Bureau of Standards, now NIST, as well as residential ones. R.C. joined Boulder Rotary after his retirement when he sold Parrish Construction Company to son Larry. His time to attend meetings now became more available. He and Faye enjoyed attending many Rotary social events, as well as visiting other clubs in their various travels. In the spirit of supporting others in the community, R.C. frequently did business with other Boulder Rotarians, counting many as his friends. His motto was, do quality work and treat customers fairly, and you will gain all the business that you need. R.C. was recognizable around Boulder with his Stetson hat and was still called Tex after 67 years of living here. Gingy's arrival in Boulder coincided with her attendance at the University of Colorado, where she majored in journalism. While working at the Boulder Daily Camera and editing a campus publication, she met and not long after married Father Pat, thus remaining in Boulder for her lifetime. While Father Pat led the Canterbury College ministry at CU and became rector at St. Agnes Episcopal Church, Gingy soon had her own career beyond, raising their 3 sons, Val, who is with us today, and Ralph, and for decades cooked Sunday evening dinners for the university students. Her interest in reading led her to open the Printed Page bookstore on Pearl Street. She became a lifetime board member of what is now the Downtown Business Partnership and a longtime member of the Boulder Chamber of Commerce. Gingy was also elected to the Boulder Valley School Board, where she served 14 years, including a term as president. She also co-founded the district's foundation, which is now known as Impact on Education. In Boulder Rotary, she planned many social events, the children's Christmas parties, the club's 75th anniversary banquet, and for many years was a steadfast member of the Caring Committee. She frequently provided a silent auction item at fundraisers, which included a prime rib dinner at her home with a lemon meringue angel cake. Her special mushroom soup went to those in need of cheering up or sustenance. RC and Gingy have had a long-lasting impact on Boulder community as they built relationships and left their own legacies for many to appreciate. Continuing their family's connection in Rotary, son Larry joined the Boulder Club. Son Val is a member of the Boulder Flatirons Club. We are grateful to their families for the friendship, involvement, and service above self orientation left by these two honorary Rotarians. They certainly exemplified the 2018 Rotary International theme and inspiration. They are. Thank you.
But they will be sorely missed. They were wonderful members of our club, wonderful people. Okay, before while comes up to introduce our speaker, the winning lottery raffle ticket right here. So take out your raffle tickets. Can you see it? Can you lights up? Okay. Here is the winning number: 8274708. Somebody's got to be around. Who's the winner? All right, Rob. Yeah, we'll get you paid out. Now, come on up, Carl. Thank you. Okay, so while we have some new member inductions and transitions, why don't you come on up, Shoni and Lynn and Edie and Rod and Gary, come on up. While we're doing that, we have Rich Irwin has 3 tickets for a sold out. This is free, so think about it if you want to do it tomorrow. See you on the weekend tour of Kevin Francis' lab of the Laboratory for Atmospheric and Space Physics from 3 to 4 tomorrow. Anybody interested in that? Raise your hand. It's where they do space stuff and atmospheric stuff. You'll leave smarter. Who wants to leave smarter? Okay, Teresa. You're already super smart. Oh, you're going to be smarter. Okay, so who wants to come up first? We've got, how about Lynn and Rod? Oh, sorry. You guys in the back. Sorry about that. Screwed that up. All right.
It's a privilege for me to be able to bring in a friend into a Boulder Rotary Club, Lynn Johnson. Lynn grew up in upstate New York and, along with 3 brothers and a sister, helped his father in the family lumber mill. He played baseball and softball into his 50s, is an avid Rockies fan, and he still considers golf to be a good walk. Lynn met his wife Karen at the University of Buffalo more than 50 years ago, and they have had many travels together for jobs, graduate school, and many interests. Karen and Lynn's 2 sons and 4 grandsons all live in the Denver area. And like Lynn says, woohoo! Lynn received a PhD from Cornell in water resource systems, and then moved 13 times in the next 20 years, eventually ending up spending 30 years at CU Denver on the civil engineering faculty, teaching undergraduate and graduate courses on water and wastewater systems design, river basin operations, and hydrology. He currently has a half-time appointment at NOAA's Earth Systems Research Lab, where he continues to research floods and the opposite droughts. Part of Lynn's interest in joining Boulder Rotary is to increase his service contribution beyond Meals on Wheels, Habitat for Humanity, Sister Carmen Food Bank, and Care Connect Ice Busters, where he shovels snow for the elderly who cannot shovel themselves. He feels that the Rotary Water and Sanitation Initiative looks very interesting and has therefore already hit the ground running by joining the World Community Service Committee to provide his expertise through district and global grants. So Lynn, welcome to Boulder Rotary.
Come on, Gary.
Well, you all have already met Edie, and as the daughter of a country doctor in New Hampshire, Vermont, up there. Yeah, okay. So, who established the first Planned Parenthoods in the country, and a mother who was a feminist and community leader, Edie, in the Rotary tradition of service above self, was raised with the understanding that we have an obligation to serve those in need and to actively improve the quality of life in the communities in which we live. Edie was a legislative aide in the U.S. Senate and in the Alaska State Legislature in the 70s and 80s, at a time when both parties worked together to find common ground. Choice, sane immigration policy, affordable, well-funded public education, and environmental protection were values shared by both parties. It was the collapse of this collaboration and respect for each other's perspectives that led Edie, at that time, to take her knowledge of the legislative process and consensus building out of the halls of the Capitol and into government affairs offices in the Philadelphia Chamber of Commerce and later in the Philadelphia Electric Company. While working full-time, she received her master's in public administration from the University of Pennsylvania. So, Edie now represents the Colorado House District 10, which is just won her second term, election for second term. And this district includes both Boulder and Denver. And join me in congratulating her because she just was elected from the majority caucus to serve as their chair in the upcoming legislative session. So in addition to her caucus chair responsibilities, she hopes to serve on the Transportation Committee and the Business and Local Government Committee, both of which address significant legislative important issues vital to the interests of Boulder County. Please help me welcome Edie Hooten to Boulder Rotary. Sure.
So thank you, it's an honor. I've been very interested in participating in Rotary for years, and Gary finally got me in here, so I look forward to working with you. Something I else would like to add, we have this unique opportunity from Boulder County to have tremendous representation at the Capitol. Casey Becker, who is also a state representative from Boulder, was just elected Colorado Speaker of the House. Steve Fenberg, State Senator Steve Fenberg, also from Boulder County, was just elected Senate Majority Leader. Governor-elect Polis will be our governor. I think if you read the paper, he will be residing in Boulder. And also Jenna Greswold, who was just elected Secretary of State, is from Louisville. So that is a pretty exceptional leadership representation at the Capitol from Boulder County. So I think you should all be pretty proud of that. And the final thing I want to say is that last year we passed over 400 bipartisan bills that were signed by the governor of the legislature. That's more than twice as many as any other split chamber state did. We, the way that we operate at the Capitol is very different than the way they function in DC, and I think you should feel pretty proud about that too. We work very hard across the aisle, and I think we are going to continue to do that regardless of the change in the makeup of the Senate and our numbers. Thank you.
All right. I'm Jim Online, as co-chair, and now you know I get the privilege of introducing or the transition from red badge to blue badge. But my parliamentary started Rupert, who has sponsored Shawnee Kong. And it's been about 6 months since Shawnee joined the club. And as a professor with a background, she was born in Denver, raised in LA by a single dad. Without a mom in the home, her siblings gained independence and learned the benefits of teamwork at an early age. She received her bachelor's from Cal State Northridge, and later, after moving to Washington State, and then back to California for a senior management position, she graduated as one of the first PhD thinking firms. Showing chapter 2 here, in terms of service. Her recent past, she was president of Business and Professional Women's Group here in Boulder. Sat on the board of KGNU and Attention Homes. She now volunteers with CASA and Circle of Care, and has been an active volunteer with Let's Bad Hunger and Boulder Rotary's Share Gift, Spell Bee, and Day of Caring. How? All in the first 6 months, you ask? Well, her husband is our own Gary Kahn, so she's had a little head start. Together they have 24-year-old twin boys who are both doing very impressive things. I'd love to tell you more about it if we had more time, so do ask her. It's really cool. And she's joining our Roots group primarily, and was recently nominated as a co-chair for 2019 of the club. And is also the co-chair for Interact Fairview now. So wow, thanks for bringing your talent and your service energy to us, and we welcome you. Thank you so much, Darcy.
And I just get to say that I want you all to get to know this fabulous woman personally. You heard all this stuff about her, but she's got heart.
Okay, we have an announcement video. Can we do that now? Are you ready for that, or? Sure. Good answer.
Hello, Rotarians and guests, and thank you for being here today. We are Boulder Rotary, and we are service among self. December is Disease Prevention and Treatment Month.
Here's what a true Rotarian does during the break. They serve
entire semi-trucks with goods. Oh my gosh, we're out here in such noise for all the neat kids and that doesn't do that. So we got your goods. Many times, this may be the only gift the child gets for the holiday season.
Yeah, you got to.
Well, that was, and this is Danny Lindo acting like Santa. And guess what? We all have the opportunity now.
Share a gift this holiday season. Once again, this holiday project will provide toys, books, and bikes for the less fortunate in the Boulder Valley School District. There are several ways you can be like Danny Lindo. You can donate unwrapped toys and gifts on November 30th, December 7th, and the 14th. Cash donations are always appreciated. You can sign up at club meetings, online, at the website, or talk to Rotarian Joanne Joslin.
Thank you, Joanne, for your hard work. It's not too early we think about the Rotary International Convention, June 1 through 5 in Hamburg, Germany.
Wait, that's Swedish.
Oh, yeah, right. And limited advertising space is now available for our special BRC 100 insert in the daily camera. You gotta make your reservation by March 15th. And it'll be published on April 1st, 2019. Holidays are a perfect time to curl up with a good book, and the Boulder Rotary Club Book Club will meet Tuesday, January 15th from 5 to 6:30 p.m. at Darla Sheets' house. We're reading the first 1,000 days, a crucial time for mothers and children and the world. The book relates to Rotary International's focus of saving mothers and children. For more information, or let us know you're coming, contact co-chairs Darla or Sue Dee. Next week's program is December 7th, which is Pearl Harbor Day. Assistant Professor Nathan Schneider is a reporter who writes about religion, technology, and resistance. His current project is an exploration of models for democratic ownership and governance for online platforms. Here's to hoping everybody's going to have a great winter. Remember, look uphill and
First, I'd like to remind you that Rotaract, thank John Moseliak, who would like to have donations if you're not going to come. We have two birthday people today. John Sullivan was brought to the club by me, and it's the only reason I'm still in the club.
Somebody's got to keep an eye on me. As I advance through the decades, I think more frequently about the late great Satchel Paige, who was a outstanding pitcher, spent the prime of his career in the Negro Leagues, and became one of the oldest players to debut in the major leagues in 1948 after Jackie Robinson broke the color barrier in 1947. And when asked by someone how he did it, Satchel Paige said, "Age is just mind over matter. If you don't mind, it don't matter."
And Marty Evans, happy birthday to you.
I'm jumping December, but that's okay. Looking at something as to how do you stay young. We've heard a lot about a 100-year-old club that we are, and yet how we stay young. And I think these will fit the bill for Rotary and hopefully for all of us. We stay young when we feel there's much to learn. This club is still learning. We're ambitious. We're enthusiastic. We dream, and I like this one the best. We have no wrinkles on the heart.
Happy birthday, or close to it. Thanks.
Good deal. Thank you, and happy birthday, guys. To conclude our meeting, I'd like to thank some of those that helped with the meeting. Past president greeters, John and Wanakaki, and Carrie Power was our red badge reader. At registration was Kathy, Jean, and Roger Foreman. Over at the raffle was John and Dan Shear. And I'd just like to give a special thanks. We voted on our bylaws today. And, in any organization, there's absolutely essential things you gotta do. Then there's like sexy committees like rural community service and working with kids, etc. Then you got a bylaws committee. Absolutely essential. Might not be the most sexy, but I gotta tell you, thank you, President-elect John Sullivan, past President Bill Meyer, past President Deborah Kelly, and past President Marty. They're really the ones. You worked as your year's president, putting this together that we voted on today. It's actually a year and a half in the process. So thank you for that and for your hard work. That being said, thank you, everyone.